In today's global economy, language skills aren't just a nice bonus, they're a powerful advantage. More than 60% of companies admit they don't expand internationally because they lack employees with the right language skills. That means there are a lot of lost business opportunities, simply because there are not enough people who can communicate across the border. Also, being bilingual can make you wealthier. Studies show that bilingual professionals earn between 5% to 20% more than their monolingual peers. But this advantage isn't just for employees. For entrepreneurs and business owners, knowing a high-value language can unlock new markets and opportunities, build stronger partnerships, and help you negotiate better deals. Imagine being able to speak directly with manufacturers from China, close a contract with a German company, or expand your client base in Latin America without even needing a translator. The ability to connect with international partners and customers gives you an edge that most competitors simply don't have. So let's try to analyze together the most profitable languages of the world. One of them will particularly surprise you. So let's play a quick game. If I ask you to guess which language has grown the fastest in the past century, you would probably say English, Mandarin, or maybe Spanish. But you will be wrong. Portuguese has skyrocketed from 65 million speakers in 1921 to over 250 million today, an incredible growth of more than 290%. That's farther than English, Chinese, Hindi, French, Arabic, and Russian. And while you may think of Portuguese as just Brazil's official language, it's also spoken in Portugal, Mozambique, Angola, and several other countries. Brazil is not just beaches, carnival, and football. It's an economic powerhouse. By 2050, Brazil is expected to overtake Japan, Germany, and Russia to become the world's fifth largest economy. And as Brazil rises, so does the value of Portuguese as a global business language. Companies are already hunting for Portuguese speakers, and the numbers prove it. In 2014 alone, around 10,000 US job postings specially requested Portuguese speakers. For example, in New York City, companies were offering an average salary of $260,000 per year for Portuguese-speaking professionals. Yes, you heard that right. More than $250,000 just for knowing that language. So, and why Brazil? Brazil is already one of the world's top food exporters, supplying soybeans, beef, coffee, sugar, and corn to countries across the globe. By 2050, with the global population expected to reach 10 billion, food demand will skyrocket. Brazil has long led in hydropower, but by 2050 it will dominate renewables. But the real revolution is green hydrogen and biofuels. While other nations struggle to cut carbon emissions, Brazil is positioning itself as a global clean energy exporter, fueling economies far beyond its borders. And do you know what will be the most spoken language in the world by 2050? If you guessed English, Mandarin, or Spanish, think again. By 2050, French is expected to take the top spot as the most spoken language in the world. Hard to believe. Let's try to understand why. Right now, 44% of the world's French speakers live in sub-Saharan Africa, but the number is set to skyrocket. Some projections estimate that by 2050, 85% of all French speakers will be in Africa. And this isn't just about population growth. Africa's economic boom is making French one of the most valuable business languages of the world. Studies show that speaking French boosts earnings by an average of 2.3%, according to The Economist. In Chicago, French speakers earn an average of $115,000 per year, ranking second only to German-speaking professionals. And in the UK, French is the most in-demand foreign language with over 13,000 job listings specifically requiring it. Beyond salaries and job opportunities, French is actually everywhere. It's the official language of the United Nations, European Union, the International Olympic Committee, and countless other global organizations. So, in other words, if you want to work in international relations, global politics, or in any multinational industry, French isn't just helpful, it's essential. And do you know what is the most aimed language in the tech industry? I'll give you a couple of seconds and try to guess it in the comments. Ready? More than 45% of tech jobs requiring a second language specifically ask for German! Far more than French, Spanish, or Mandarin. And why? Because Germany is Europe's leading force in engineering, manufacturing, and innovation. And US companies need German-speaking professionals to collaborate with major firms. And what about the numbers, you might ask? They speak for themselves. In Chicago, German-speaking professionals earn an average of $140,000 more than any other foreign language. In Boston, they command around of $130,000 annually, ranking as the top once again. In San Francisco, the number is around of $120,000 on average, proving that German is not just available, it's a high-income skill. But this isn't just about salaries in the US. Germany has the strongest economy in Europe, and German companies create over 700,000 jobs in the US alone. More professionals are moving to Germany for work, and with Brexit shifting the balance in Europe, Germany is gaining even more influence in business, diplomacy, and global trade, as well, of course, in tourism. I think that German tourists are almost everywhere. And think of language that has grown by 266% in the last century, outpacing English, Hindi, French, and even Chinese, a language spoken in over 20 countries with more than 400 million speakers worldwide. A language that dominates one of the wealthiest and fast-growing regions on the planet. That language is Arabic, of course. Most people in Western countries, when they think of Arabic and wealth, they immediately picture oil. And yes, the Middle East has vast oil reserves. But that's only part of the story. What is the real game changer? The booming Middle Eastern economy and its rising consumer market. We even notice it in our own hotel, getting every year an increasing number of Arabic tourists that don't speak English at all. Thanks to God that my business partner speaks Arabic. Over the past 5 years alone, the Middle Eastern economy has grown by 120%, and Arabic-speaking countries now hold a staggering 600 billion in GDP. Internet access in the region is also expanding rapidly, and many online users speak only Arabic. That means businesses looking to enter this market desperately, they need Arabic speakers to translate, localize, and connect with customers in a way that automated translation simply cannot do. In the UK, Arabic is already the highest paid second language, with speakers earning an average salary of £43,000 per year. In the US, Arabic speakers are still shockingly rare, with less than 1% of college students studying it, making it one of the best ways to stand out in the job market. And if you were to guess the second most spoken language in the world, you might think of English or Mandarin maybe, but the answer is Spanish. With over 430 million native speakers, Spanish isn't just a widely spoken language, it's a key to global opportunities. Now here's something you might not expect. The United States had the second largest Spanish-speaking population in the world. Yes, more than 62 million people in the US speak Spanish, and that number is growing fast. That's why Spanish is the most in-demand language for jobs in America. According to Preply's research, out of 750,000 bilingual job listings in the US, over 150,000 required Spanish speakers, far more than any other language. Simply said, if you speak Spanish, your chances of getting hired increase dramatically in US. Daniela Saccardi from Preply puts it simply, having Spanish as a second language in America is almost a guarantee that you could get a better job than the average American, and probably you can get it even faster. But the real power of Spanish isn't just in the US, it's global. It is the official language of 20 countries, and by 2050, Mexico is projected to become the world's 7th largest economy. While economic growth has faced challenges, Mexico continues to be a major manufacturing and export hub, with new infrastructure projects set to fuel even more expansion. So, if you ever thought about learning Spanish, now is the time. The demand is there, the opportunities are endless, and the rewards both financial and personal, are well worth the effort. With over 1 billion native speakers, Mandarin is the most spoken language in the world. It's also the second most popular language on the internet, and with e-commerce exploding, many believe it will be soon more popular than English, and it will be the dominant language online. But beyond sheer numbers, China's influence in global trade, technology, and finance is what makes learning Mandarin one of the most powerful career moves you can make. China already has the largest economy in the world when measured by purchasing power parity (PPP). By 2032, it's expected to surpass the US as the world's biggest economy, meaning demand for Mandarin-speaking professionals will only increase. In fact, multinational companies looking for executives fluent in Mandarin have risen by 35% in recent years, a number that will only keep growing. Unlike Spanish or French, Mandarin isn't widely studied in the West, which means speaking it fluently instantly sets you apart in a competitive job market. In 2018, 37% of UK employers cited Mandarin as useful for business, yet fewer than 21 million people worldwide are studying it as a second language, just a fraction compared to languages like Spanish or French. This gap means that companies seeking Mandarin speakers are often willing to pay a premium to secure their talents. And now, what if I told you that one of the most strategic languages doesn't get enough attention when we talk about the most important languages of the future? Try to guess in the comments what language I'm talking about. 3, 2, 1. Yes, correct. Indonesian. Indonesian is spoken by over 270 million people in Indonesia, the world's fourth most populous country. It's the official language of the largest economy in Southeast Asia and a rising powerhouse in global trade, technology, and natural resources. And yet, few people outside of Indonesia think about learning it, making it an incredible opportunity for those who do. Indonesia is often overlooked in economic forecasts, but the numbers tell a different story. By 2050, Indonesia is projected to be the world's fourth largest economy, surpassing countries like Germany, Japan, or even the UK. This rapid growth is driven by a booming digital economy, a young and expanding workforce, and vast natural resources. Indonesia is already a global leader in palm oil, rubber, coffee, and nickel production, critical materials for industries like food, energy, and electric vehicles. But beyond resources, Indonesia is becoming a major tech hub, with startups and e-commerce platforms attracting billions of foreign investors. Companies like Gojek, Tokopedia, or Bukalapak are shaping Southeast Asian digital future, making the region one of the fastest growing digital economies in the world. Most people looking to work in Asia focus on Mandarin, Japanese, or Korean, languages that are very complex and take years to master. Indonesian, on the other hand, is one of the easiest Asian languages to learn for English speakers. It uses the Latin alphabet, has no verb conjugations or tones, and follows simple grammatical rules. This makes it a high-reward, low-barrier language to learn. A really rare combination, or what would you say? So if you like this video, you will probably like the videos that you will see on your screen. Thank you again for watching me, for your precious time, and we will see each other in the next video.